You guys remember a year ago when Nintendo dropped that Direct on us in September of 2021, where they're like, hey, we're making a Super Mario Brothers movie, and here's the voice cast.
Hey, I also wanted to reveal our key cast members who will be voicing Mario and his friends in the movie. First, of course, is Mario, who will be played by Chris Pratt. He's so cool. Next, Princess Peach will be played by Anya Taylor-Joy. I can't wait to see a very spirited Princess Peach. Mario's little brother, Luigi, will be played by Charlie Day. I'm excited for you to see this timid sibling appear on screen.
Hells yeah, we want to fill you up!
Bowser will be played by the one and only Jack Black. I'm expecting a monster performance by Jack's son. The comedian Keegan-Michael Key will be playing Toad. I'm looking forward to great comedic moments. Even though this is a Mario movie, Donkey Kong will also be making an appearance. He will be played by Seth Rogen. And of course, Charles Martinet, who has voiced Mario and many more Nintendo characters in our games over the years, is also involved and will be appearing in surprise cameos in the movie. We also have more incredible talent joining the film to play some of our other beloved characters.
What the hell was that?
The hell was that indeed, Krusty? Saying what we're all thinking as usual. Look, I remember when they announced that they were making a Super Mario Brothers movie way back, like 6 or 7 years ago. And at first I was pretty excited because I saw that it was going to be an animated movie, and I was like, yeah, that's what you should be doing with Super Mario Brothers. It should be animated. None of this live action stuff, right? And then I found out that it was going to be Illumination Studios. And I was a lot less excited. A lot less excited, because I'm not a big fan of Illumination Studios. I feel like a lot of their movies are done on the cheap. I'm not a particularly big fan of their design philosophy, because their design philosophy is, let's design all of our characters as simple as possible and make this as economical as possible, which makes great business sense, but doesn't make particularly beautiful movies, in my humble opinion. So, this past week when we finally were getting the Direct, where we were finally going to see a trailer, I was interested, but not particularly hopeful. And then it started, and holy shit, this movie looks incredible. I mean, like, looks incredible. I mean, you start off with this incredible shot of lava hitting the ice, Bowser's gigantic, like, landmass of a ship coming in on this ice city, and it looks awesome, right? Bowser looks great. I think the design, it gives you, my brain's having a hard time seeing a fully animated Bowser face, just because I'm used to seeing a sort of static Bowser, but it looks good. Jack Black, from what I've heard, sounds fine. I think they've integrated a little bit of Jack Black's face into the design of Bowser's face, which makes sense. You kind of want the face to match the voice. Great. I mean, and you get this first conflict with the penguins, and let me tell you something. You want to make me happy, you throw penguins in there. I don't care what it is. I freaking love penguins. This gag, where they're throwing snowballs at Bowser, it almost made my cold, unfeeling heart feel something. So that's great,
I finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
Okay, I don't mind the design of Mario. I really don't. I know some people are saying it looks a little bit off, but he looks fine to me, honestly. It's kind of a mix of old and new Mario, like Mario from the 80s when he was more of a schlubby middle-aged guy, and modern Mario. So I'm down with this design. It's interesting, you see Mario kind of coming out of this pipe, which leads me to believe that Mario's not from Mushroom Kingdom, especially when he says this.
What is this place?
Okay, we're going to talk about the voice here in a second. So he's not from Mushroom Kingdom. Now we know that Spike is going to be in this movie, Spike from the game Wrecking Crew. So my theory is that we start out in a city like Brooklyn. I don't know if it's going to be Brooklyn. Maybe it'll be New Donk City from... Okay, here's my theory, because we know Donkey Kong's going to be in it too. So the movie's going to start out in a real city, and maybe they'll do a joke about, like, Mario's like this handyman, but he's been kind of jumping around from job to job, right? So he's had all kinds of different jobs. He's been a carpenter, he's been a plumber, he's been, fetching boxing ring referee, an artist. Maybe they'll cheekily work in all of the different types of things Mario has been in the video game history. And then he's working on the Wrecking Crew, and then Donkey Kong shows up, and he kidnaps the mayor, who's Pauline. Oh my gosh, this is too perfect. And then Mario rescues Pauline from Donkey Kong and becomes famous. And then maybe he's searching for, like, where did this effing gorilla with a tie come from? Maybe he came from the sewers, or for some reason, and he's exploring the sewers, and he ends up in the Mushroom Kingdom. And since Luigi's not with him, Luigi probably goes looking for Mario, which I hope that's true, and I hope we get a scene of Luigi being freaked out and just being like,
Mario. Oh, Mario.
Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine. Come on, Mario!
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, you said it, that guy from SpongeBob. This guy does stink. Okay, so to be fair, we only got like a couple lines from Chris Pratt in this trailer. And, I mean, they're not great. Okay? They're not, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, it's clear that Chris Pratt is going for a Brooklyn accent, which I'm okay with. I guess canonically now Mario is the Italian.
Luigi!
I just wanted to real quick jump in. This is Editing Josh. It's canonical that Mario has Italian heritage. It's actually a really, really, really big mess when you're trying to figure out where Mario is actually from, because there are all kinds of contradicting statements. It's almost like Nintendo doesn't give a shit about continuity and just likes to make games and kind of makes it up as they go along. Maybe that's why the Legend of Zelda timeline is so fetching messy.
What the hell is even that?
But for anybody who's my age and older, Mario started out as a guy from Brooklyn. For me, the first time I heard Mario's voice was on the Super Mario Super Show, where he was played by Captain Lou Albano, who was an Italian-American, grew up and lived in New York. I mean, he was a wrestler. He also did just really intense PSAs.
And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Please.
Yeah, those drug PSAs from the 80s, man, they did not mess around at all. But yeah, he and Danny Wells played Mario and Luigi respectively, and that's what he sounded like. He was always talking about different pastas and different food.
How can I thank you?
That's easy. I can think of 7 ways.
7?
Yeah, spaghetti, ravioli, macaroni, tortellini, muscacelli, linguini, and garlic ice cream.
I mean, Mario was a schlubby, middle-aged dude who loved his Italian food. And then obviously in 1996, Charles Martinet took over. I know he was the voice of Mario and other things before Super Mario 64. But for most people, that's where they first heard Charles Martinet's Mario.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
And the Mario that was introduced in Super Mario 64 was like way more athletic. He's doing like triple flips and doing jumping around, doing somersaults. He was much more agile than Mario had ever been, and much more energetic. And as a result, his voice became more energetic. And he was, just straight up Italian. But he still talked about Italian food, which was important.
Spaghetti. Ravioli. Mamma mia.
If you're older than me, you might actually remember a little show called The Supercade way back in 1983 where there would be Donkey Kong shorts. And in those shorts, Mario made appearances and he was played by Peter Cullen, who's a prolific voice actor. I mean, he's Optimus Prime, he's Eeyore, he was Mario. I mean, he's done so many freaking things. He's an incredible voice actor because that's what really incredible voice actors do. They change their voice for each character and manage to give character to their characters with nothing but their voices. I mean, hell, look at Charles Martinet, the guy that does Mario's voice in the games. You know, here he is as Mario.
It's a me, Mario. Woohoo! Let's go. Okie dokie.
And then here he is as Parthenax in Skyrim.
What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
It's a skill all on its own. And I think that voice actors often don't get the credit that they deserve. They have an incredible skill set. And while Chris Pratt has demonstrated that he is able to infuse character into his voice, he has not demonstrated that he's able to create different voices. And I am worried about it. I mean, again, we only have this trailer to go off of. We've only got like 2 lines, but it was not great what we got. So I am a little bit concerned. I don't know. I feel like Disney Animation Studios has gone back to casting straight up voice actors for most of their leads. And then they'll cast like 1 or 2 big names as a draw. I feel like Illumination Studios loves to do this bullshit where they just hire a bunch of famous actors, whether they can voice act or not.
You be a good boy, Leonard.
Look, I'm sorry to harp so much on the voices. It's my biggest concern because when I see Super Mario Brothers, I want to see Mario, Luigi, Bowser, not Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Jack Black. And to be fair, I'm not really as concerned with the other actors. It's really mainly Chris Pratt that I'm worried about. Who knows? It could be a much better voice than what we've seen. I guess we'll find out. But I will say this, Illumination has bucked the trend in that this movie looks absolutely beautiful. And I will say that it has me excited and optimistic. Before seeing this trailer, I really wasn't interested in the Super Mario Brothers movie apart from like just sheer curiosity, you know, because we haven't had a Nintendo movie since 1993. Am I a joke to you? So, you know, I was curious, but not like I have to go see this in the theaters when it comes out day 1. And now it's kind of like, yeah, I want to see this, you know? Looks like it could be fun. I think if I had to express a hope that I have for the movie, it's that it incorporates multiple generations of Mario. The cool thing is that Mario's been around now for almost 40 years. Did I just say that? Oh, Lord, that is... Anyways, I'll process that, sorry. So there's so much history now, and there's so many different generations that can connect on this movie, and that's pretty darn cool. So I just hope the movie, you know, lives up to the history of Mario. But I want to hear from everybody. I want to hear from you down in the comments below. What do you think of the trailer? Are you excited for this movie? Are you nervous about Chris Pratt? These are my patrons, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me. If you want to support me, you can head on over to patreon.com, and you can support me there. The link is in the description.